Everyday cooking. I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be cooking some chicken fajitas, some home style Mexican rice my way, and some beef crunchy tacos. So here I have 4 boneless chicken breasts that I already cut into strips. I'm going to cut those in diagonal pieces. You're going to need a green bell pepper, a red bell pepper, and a yellow or orange, whichever ones you want to use. 1 whole onion. The seasonings that you're going to use are some cumin, onion powder, parsley, oregano, a scent, Mrs. Dash, and I have 2 packages of fajita mix. You're also going to need some flour tortillas, a box of hard shell tacos, chicken broth, diced tomatoes and green chilies, refried beans, and we're also going to use some seasoning salt and black pepper. So what I'm going to do now is get these cut up, get my ground beef into the skillet. I'm going to be using olive oil and vegetable oil, and I'll bring you guys back. Okay guys, so I have chopped up my boneless chicken breast. Now I am going to season it with some cumin, whatever you want to call it. About 2 tablespoons. I don't want to overdo it. Some onion powder, some oregano leaves, whole oregano. I don't want to use salt, so I'm going to use a scent. Mrs. Dash. I'm just going to get in here, mix it all up, let those flavors marinate for about, I say 30 minutes to an hour. 30 minutes to an hour, folks. Oop, I forgot I had fat right there. Don't want to mix the fat in with that. Okay. We're good. Try to get that all nicely coated. That oregano smells really good with that cumin. Okay, gonna wash my hands. And here in this skillet, I have my ground beef frying up for my tacos. I am going to add some seasoning salt to it. And some black pepper. And I almost forgot, you guys. I got the garlic powder. So I'm gonna have to re-season that. A little bit of garlic powder. Just a little. Okay? So I'll bring you guys back once this is done and I'm ready to, once I've chopped up these vegetables. Thanks for watching. Okay, guys, welcome back. So my ground beef is done. I'm going to add 1 package of taco seasoning mix in here and 2/3 of a cup of water. Get that mixed in. Actually, I can use a spoon now. Get that mixed in, bring it back up to a boil. Okay. And then we're going to let it simmer for about 3 to 5 minutes. after it comes up to a boil. So here are my veggies. I have chopped them up. You want to chop them long, like in long strips like this. Also, my onions are in long strips. So we have green, red, yellow, white. Here I have a tablespoon. I have a skillet that I'm going to heat up some olive oil in. About, I say 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And 1 tablespoon of butter to the olive oil to saute our veggies in. Cut my fire like on a 2.5, 3. My ground beef is boiling, so I'm going to give it a stir. Reduce my heat and let it simmer uncovered for 3 to 5 minutes. So I'll bring you guys back once this butter melts. Be back in a sec. My butter has melted, so now I'm going to add all the veggies into that olive oil and butter. And then I'm going to saute these until they become tender, which could take about 10 minutes. Should take about 10 minutes. Look how pretty that looks. So I am going to cut my fire up a little bit, like on a medium. And let those begin to saute. I'm going to add a little bit of scent just to help them sweat a little bit and get tender and cook down. Okay. So now I'm going to cut my ground beef off. It has simmered for about 5 minutes. The sauce is thick. I'm going to put a lid on that. Just let that hang out. Alright, so I'll bring you guys back in a sec. Here I have a pot of water. I have my temperature stove on a 4.5. I've added about 2.5 cups of water to the pot. And then I'm also going to add some chicken broth just to give my rice some flavor. So I'm going to add that into the rest of the water mix. Give that a little stir. Then I'm going to add 3 packs of rice so that it can boil inside the water and the chicken broth. It's going to give it some good flavor. So we're just going to let that boil until the rice is done. Let's check on our veggies. They're like 3/4 of the way done. I want them to get a little bit more tender because you don't want like crunchy vegetables in your fajitas. It smells great. So we're just going to keep cooking those down until they're done. And I'll meet you guys back. Okay guys, so I'm back. So our veggies are done. I am now going to take them out and place them on this plate. I'm using both spatulas because I don't have any tongs and I don't want it to be too oily. So actually, let me put my fire off so they can stop cooking. So I'm just going to get all these on this plate and I'll bring you guys back. Okay guys, so here are my veggies. I took them out. So I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter to the skillet. The same skillet we had our vegetables in. And a tablespoon of vegetable oil. About that much. With that. And let that melt down. Okay, so we're just letting the vegetable oil and the butter melt down. And over here, our rice is almost done. I added 2.5 cups of water and 1 can of chicken broth to give it some extra flavor. So that's why you see that little tinge yellowish color in there. Okay. So over here we got our boneless, skinless chicken breast. Right here I have some refried beans, tomatoes and chilies, and some diced tomatoes. Okay. So that's ready to go. So Let's get our chicken in there. Okay.
Y'all, room. I'm recording a video.
So I cut my fire up to a medium, like a 5, medium high. And we're gonna let these burn. It's gonna take about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm gonna get something to cover my vegetables. Like that. Let's check our rice. Almost, not quite. Almost. And then we're also gonna use some mild cheddar cheese. So I'm gonna get that out. Okay, yeah, this is the perfect heat. And we added some cumin and oregano to this. It's gonna bring out that flavor. And then the drippings from the vegetables, it's gonna give us some additional flavor. So we're just gonna let this set, and then I'll bring you guys back. Guys, so as you can see, it is starting to turn white. You see that? So they're almost done. You're gonna flip it, and you want to make sure that your poultry is all the way cooked through, or you can get sick. So I'm just gonna flip these. Try to flip all of them so that the other side can cook. So these are almost done. I cut them down to where it's open, and that's how much it made. So now I am going to add 2 tablespoons of butter, just like that. Actually, I should use a fork. Fluff it with a fork. Get that butter all mixed in there. Smells great. Okay, and that chicken broth we use is going to give us some extra good flavor. So now at this point, we're going to use some Mrs. Dash Original Blend, salt-free. The healthy way is the best way. About 2 tablespoons of that. Some scent. It's healthier than salt. Salt is not good for you. A little bit of onion powder. A little bit of seasoning salt, about a tablespoon. Some black pepper. And some parsley. Okay, let me give it all that a mix. Okay, let's get it mixed in there. Actually, you guys, I'm gonna add 1 more tablespoon of butter, 2 more tablespoons of butter. So that was a total of 4 tablespoons of butter. We want this buttery. So always taste your foods to make sure it's exactly how you want it. It's actually very good, you guys. That chicken broth, that chicken broth gave it some really good flavor, y'all. And then if you want to, because this is a Mexican meal I'm cooking, you can spice it up with some red pepper, some jalapeno pepper, whatever you choose. So that is good to go. I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm not going to add anything else to it. Let's check on this meat one more time. It's almost done. I'm going to let this go for another, I say 5 to 10 minutes. Just to make sure the chicken is fully cooked through. So I'll bring you guys back for that. Thanks for watching. Okay, you guys, I'm back. So our chicken is done. I'm gonna add our fajita mix pack. And then I'm gonna add 1/4 cup of water. Mix it in there really well. We're going to cut our fire up and bring it to a boil. Reduce the heat and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. Okay, so we're going to let this come up to a boil. I'll bring you guys back, and then we'll add our veggies. And that's it. Thanks for watching.